So this was 15,000 x plus 12,000 y, and then we were equal to $150,000 total. So basically that means that anything along this line, okay, from 0 rock, 12.5 wrap, all the way to 10 and 0, anything along that line we could make, okay, any point along here. So even the point like 6 and 5 you could make because it's on the line, right? That represents your production cost. So anything up until here or under this line would work because that's in your budget, okay? Most of us got that. Then we had the 18 hours to produce the rock CDs plus 25 hours to produce the wrap CDs, and we had to work 175 hours or higher. So we had to be above this red line, right? So we had to be above those points, but under the blue point. So we had to be somewhere in the middle for our company per our contract, okay? The next thing we talked about was the branding. So we had to have more wrap than rock. So Y had to be greater than X. So we had to be on this side of that line, okay? So we had to be working on in between still, but in this green shaded region. Okay, then we had profit, right? We had 20,000 for every X plus 30,000 for every Y, okay, for our company. And we were trying to figure out what was the highest point. So what we do when we're figuring out the highest profit point is we take our points in the region, okay? The first one I tried was 0, 7. So we're going to plug those points in for X and for Y. So you're going to take your 20,000 times 0 plus 30,000 times 7. And that gave you $210,000. Okay. So we plot that point, right? Plot your profit line. All right, and that profit line goes exactly through the 0.07, right? If I zoomed in, whatever, that purple line right there, purple line goes through that point, right? 0.7. Okay, but there's a lot of space above, right here, above this line that we could use. There's a lot of space in there for some profit to maximize. So we're going to test some other points, right? We could test this point, 5.556 and 5.556, right? And see what that is. And then the other one, 5.556. And that gives me $277,000, $800, right? And what does that do? Okay. Well, that puts it through that point. But my profit line, you can still see, it looks like there's still some space above it that we could still work with, right? We still have space below this blue line, okay, that is still workable for our profit. So let's try the next highest point, right, in our region. So 0 rock albums and 12.5 rap albums. Okay, and we're going to try to see what that would give us. So we got to plug that in. 0 and 12. 0 and 12.5. Yeah, and that gives us $375,000 in profit. And let's see what that does. And that actually goes through that point, right? Which is in the region. Since that point is in the region that we can make as a business, it is in the profit space that we can make, okay? And this is the highest point that our profit has gone. If I were to go any higher than this, I'm going to be outside the region. So if I were to go to like 376,000. Okay, as we zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, you see we are actually outside the region. So we're above that 12.5 line, right? But as soon as we go back down to the 375, okay, we are right through. So that is the highest point within our region that we could make for our company. So we've got to go and we actually have to write up a business proposal, right? We have to make a recommendation for our business. So we need to write something. I'm going to do this as a note for us. So we have to make a claim on what's the highest profit point. So the highest profit for our business. I can't spell business. There we go. The highest profit for our business is 0 rock albums and 12.5 rap albums, right? So 0 rock albums and 12.5 rap albums. This will produce a profit of what? How much money will this produce? $375,000. Okay, that's the highest point in the region that we could make. This would be what I want to see for our recommendation for what we should do. Now, if we wanted to take it a step further, there might be some other restrictions if you have another type of problem. For example, 12 and a half rap albums. Well, we can't really sell half a rap album, can we? We can't. So I might need to go in and think about, okay, I might have to go look at the top of this region and only look at the points that we could make, right? Maybe it's 0 and 12, or maybe it's 1 and 12. Okay, I have to think about the actual possibilities for the business. Okay, not necessarily what the graph's telling me. The graph is going to lead me to a place that we have to make sense for a real life scenario, for a possible real